Her sister slipped and said, "You're way better than her 10 other exes." She finally chose a good guy, but she told me I was her first. I smiled until I found a journal where she rated every guy she slept with. I was last. She came home to a printed copy taped to the door, highlighted in red. Hey viewers, real quick, only 8% of you watching are subscribed, and the channel's kind of stuck right now. If you enjoy these stories, hitting that subscribe button would really help us keep going. Thanks. I'm 29M Jake, typing this while Lisa packs her stuff upstairs. This happened yesterday, and I'm still processing the sheer audacity. Saturday afternoon, Lisa 26F and I were having lunch with her family. Her sister Emma 24F had too much wine and started getting chatty about Lisa's dating history. "Jake, you're seriously the best boyfriend Lisa's ever had. Way better than her other 10 exes. She finally chose a good guy." The table went quiet. Lisa's face turned red. Her mom shot Emma a look that could kill. 10 other exes? I kept my voice casual, but my brain was doing math. Lisa forced a laugh. "Emma's exaggerating. You know how she gets with wine." But Emma wasn't done. "Remember that guy Marcus? And before him there was Tyler and that jerk from college." "Emma, shut up." Lisa's voice was sharp now. I'd been with Lisa for 8 months. She told me early on that she'd only been with one guy before me. Her high school boyfriend Tommy. Said she wanted to wait for the right person, that intimacy was special to her. I respected that. Found it refreshing, actually. Turns out I was number 12, not number 2. The rest of lunch was awkward. Lisa kept apologizing for Emma's confusion. Emma kept drinking and looking confused about why everyone was mad at her. That evening, Lisa tried to smooth things over. "Jake, Emma was drunk. She gets our friend group mixed up with my dating life. You know how sisters are." Lisa, she was pretty specific. She even started naming guys. "She's thinking of my college friends' boyfriends." Emma's always been weird about details. I wanted to believe her, but something felt off. Lisa was fidgety, avoiding eye contact, over-explaining everything. Looking back, this wasn't new behavior. She'd always been secretive about her phone, weird about running into people around town, always had explanations for everything. Sunday evening, Lisa was at her book club. I was looking for my phone charger and remembered seeing one in her nightstand drawer last week. That's when I found it. A leather journal tucked behind some magazines. I wasn't snooping. I was literally reaching for a charger cable when I felt it, but when I pulled it out, it fell open to a page titled "The Complete List" in Lisa's handwriting. My stomach dropped. It was a rating system. Names, dates, scores out of 10 for different categories: performance, size, technique, relationship potential, overall experience. Detailed notes about what each guy did right or wrong. 12 names total. I was at the bottom. Number 12. The entries weren't just from before we dated, they were ongoing. She'd been updating this thing throughout our entire relationship. My scores? 4 out of 10 for performance, 3 out of 10 for size, 6 out of 10 for technique, 2 out of 10 for excitement factor. Overall rating 3.8 out of 10. The notes were worse. Sweet but boring. Predictable. Tries hard but no natural talent. Good boyfriend material but disappointing physically. Can live with it for stability. Can live with it for stability. The guy above me, Marcus, got straight 9s and 10s. Best I've ever had. Amazing connection. Wish he wanted something serious instead of just fun. Another ex got an 8 overall with notes like, "Incredible chemistry, made me feel alive. Too bad he moved away." Number 3 on the list had notes, "Wild and exciting. Never knew what to expect." Relationship was chaos, but the physical connection was unreal. I sat there reading this thing for 30 minutes, every detail of our private moments analyzed and compared to 11 other guys, ranked dead last in almost everything that mattered to her. Entry after entry showed me what Lisa really thought, that I was safe, reliable, boring, the guy she settled for when the exciting ones didn't work out. The most recent entry was from last week, 8 months with Jake. Still hoping things improve, but starting to accept this is just how he is. At least he's stable and treats me well. Good enough for long term, even if not exciting. When Lisa got home, I was sitting at the kitchen table with the journal closed in front of me. "Hey babe, how was book club?" She kissed my cheek like nothing had happened. "Interesting, I was looking for a phone charger in your nightstand." She glanced at the journal and her face went white. "Jake, I can explain." "Explain what? That you've been lying to me for 8 months? That I'm actually your 12th, not your second? That you've been rating our sex life like a Yelp review? It's not what it looks like." It's exactly what it looks like, Lisa. You kept a scorecard. I'm in last place. She started crying. Jake, those numbers don't mean anything. I love you. You love that I'm stable. You love that I'm good enough for long term. You settled for me because the guys you actually wanted didn't want commitment. That's not true. It's written in your handwriting, Lisa. Can live with it for stability. Your words. Jake, please. That was just frustration. Everyone has bad moments. The last entry is from last week. You wrote that you're starting to accept this is just how I am 1 week ago. She had no answer for that. Pack your stuff, Lisa. We're done. You can't be serious. You're ending us over some stupid journal. I'm ending us because you've been lying to me about who you are, and because apparently I'm the worst of 12 guys you've been with. Jake, I'll throw the journal away. We can start fresh. The journal isn't the problem, Lisa. The problem is that you think so little of me but stayed anyway because I'm safe. That's not love. That's settling. She cried harder. Where am I supposed to go? Call Marcus. He got straight 9s. I went to my office, scanned every page of that journal, and printed the whole thing. Took about an hour to get every page clear and readable. While Lisa showered, I highlighted every mention of my name in red. Every score, every comment, every comparison to other guys. Then I taped the printed pages to the inside of our front door. All 22 pages. She'd see them the moment she tried to leave. When she came out of the shower, I was sitting on the couch. Your bags are packed and by the door. Your printed journal is taped to it. Might want to grab both. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind. You printed my private journal? Your private journal where you rated our relationship like a restaurant review? Yeah, I printed it. Jake, that's personal. So was our sex life. But you turned that into data points. She ran to the door, saw the papers, and started ripping them down frantically. This is insane. What's insane is keeping detailed notes on your boyfriend's sexual performance without telling him. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. Something you should try. Lisa grabbed her bags and the torn papers. This isn't over, Jake. Yeah, it is. She slammed the door so hard the walls shook. Update 1. 1 week later. The fallout has been exactly what you'd expect. Thanks for the comments. Good to know I'm not crazy for having standards. Lisa spent the week trying to do damage control. First came the apologetic texts. Jake, I was keeping that journal from before we got serious. It doesn't reflect how I feel now. Jake, please call me. We can work through this. Jake, I'm staying at Emma's. She feels terrible about what she said. I didn't respond to any of them. Then came the angry texts when she realized I wasn't budging. You had no right to print my private thoughts. You're being ridiculous over something that doesn't matter. I hope you're happy ruining what we had over your ego. Tuesday, Emma called me. Jake, Lisa's a mess. She really loves you. Emma, she ranked me last out of 12 guys. That's not love. She was young when she started that journal. People change. She updated it last week, Emma. Called me disappointing but good enough for stability. Maybe you could try being more, I don't know, exciting? The audacity. Emma, your sister lied to me for 8 months about her entire dating history. This isn't about me being exciting enough. She was protecting your feelings. By lying and keeping a scorecard, that's not protection. That's manipulation. I hung up. Wednesday, Lisa's mom called. Jake, Lisa made a mistake, but this is fixable. Mrs. Chen, your daughter lied to me about being essentially a virgin, then kept detailed notes about how disappointing I am in bed. What exactly is fixable about that? She chose you, Jake. That has to count for something. She settled for me. She literally wrote that she can live with it for stability. That's not choosing someone. That's accepting them as good enough. Jake, she's young. She's learning about relationships. She's 26, not 16. And she learned enough to rate 12 different guys with detailed performance reviews. Thursday brought the reality check I needed. My buddy Alex called. Dude, I heard about you and Lisa. That journal thing is crazy. How'd you hear about it? Lisa called Sarah crying about it. Sarah told me. But here's the thing. I knew about some of Lisa's exes. She wasn't exactly quiet about her dating life in college. What do you mean? Remember when you guys first started dating, and you mentioned she was inexperienced? I almost said something then, but figured it wasn't my business. You knew she was lying? Jake, half our friend group knew Lisa in college. She dated constantly, had a reputation for being particular about guys, always comparing them to each other. So other people knew. Lisa had been lying to me while our mutual friends knew the truth. Why didn't anyone say anything? Because nobody wanted to get involved in relationship drama. Plus, we figured if she wanted to reinvent herself with you, that was her business. Reinvent herself? Lisa was always pretty shallow about dating, really focused on looks and performance over personality. We thought maybe she'd grown up when she got with you. Turns out Lisa hadn't grown up, she'd just gotten better at hiding who she really was. Friday, I got the validation I needed. I was at the gym when Marcus walked over. Yeah, the 9 out of 10 Marcus from the journal. Jake, right? I'm Marcus. I think we need to talk. My first instinct was to avoid drama, but curiosity won. What's up? Lisa came by my place yesterday. Wanted to reconnect, started telling me about your breakup. And she showed me some journal pages and asked what I thought about her rating system, like she wanted my opinion on whether her scores were fair. I stared at him. She showed you the journal? Parts of it, including her notes about me. Look, I'm not trying to cause problems, but you should know she did the same thing when we dated. The rating system? Yep. Found out she was taking notes on our dates, comparing me to other guys, keeping track of everything. Made me feel like I was being evaluated constantly. Why'd you break up? Because dating someone who treats relationships like performance reviews is exhausting. She was never just present in the moment, always analyzing, comparing, keeping score. She told me you didn't want commitment. Marcus laughed. I didn't want commitment with someone who treated me like a test subject. Big difference. So Lisa's pattern went back years. The journal wasn't some recent thing. It was how she approached all relationships. Update 2. 3 weeks later. Lisa's desperation reached new heights this week, and I learned just how deep her deception went. Our mutual friend group had a barbecue Saturday. I wasn't sure if I should go, but decided I wasn't going to hide. Lisa showed up an hour later with some guy I'd never seen before. Tall, muscular, looked like he stepped out of a fitness magazine. Lisa was all over him, laughing too loud, touching his arm constantly, making sure everyone noticed. Our friend Mike pulled me aside. Dude, she's totally trying to make you jealous. Mission failed. I feel bad for the guy. You're not bothered at all? Mike, would you be jealous if your ex brought a new guy to prove she was over you? Probably, yeah. Even if you found out she'd been rating your performance and you came in last place? Oh, yeah, that changes things. But here's where it got interesting. Sarah, Alex's girlfriend, came over looking uncomfortable. Jake, can I talk to you privately? We walked to the corner of the yard. I need to tell you something about Lisa, about her dating history. What about it? You know how she told you she'd only been with one guy before you? Yeah, Tommy from high school. Sarah shook her head. Jake, there was no Tommy. I went to high school with Lisa. She didn't have a boyfriend named Tommy. She barely dated anyone in high school. My brain started spinning. Then who was the one guy she claimed to have been with? That's just it. She made him up. The whole story about waiting for the right person, being inexperienced, all of it was fake. How do you know? Because Lisa and I were roommates junior year of college. I watched her date constantly. She had a different guy every few weeks, and she was always weird about it, taking notes, comparing them, talking about them like they were projects. She's been doing this for years? Since I've known her. But here's the really messed up part. She used to brag about manipulating guys by pretending to be inexperienced, said it made them feel special and try harder. I felt sick. She planned this from the beginning. Jake, I'm sorry. I should have said something when you guys started dating, but I thought maybe she'd changed. Why are you telling me now? Because of what she's doing to that new guy. I heard her on the phone earlier telling Emma about her research on him. She's already planning how to play him. Lisa wasn't just documenting her relationships, she was engineering them. Sunday, Emma called me. For the first time, she sounded genuinely apologetic. Jake, I owe you a huge apology. For what? For what I said at lunch that day, and for defending Lisa this whole time. What changed your mind? I found something in Lisa's old room at my parents' house, a box of journals, not just the one you found, journals going back to college. More rating systems? Worse. Plans. She literally planned out how to manipulate different types of guys. There's a whole section about playing innocent to make guys feel protective and special. Emma, Jake, there's a page about you, from before you guys even started dating. She researched you through mutual friends, found out you were looking for something serious, and planned the whole, inexperienced thing specifically for you. The room started spinning. Lisa had targeted me. She planned everything? The sweet, innocent act. The story about Tommy, waiting to have sex until you felt special. All of it was calculated to make you fall for her. Why are you telling me this? Because that new guy she's with? I heard her on the phone planning the same thing. She's gonna tell him he's only her second or third. Play up the inexperience angle again. Emma, your sister is seriously messed up. I know, and I'm sorry I helped her cover for it. Final update. 2 months later. Time for the final chapter. Lisa's house of lies finally collapsed completely, and the ending was more satisfying than I could have imagined. Last month I ran into fitness magazine guy. Turns out his name is Ryan, at the coffee shop near my office. You're Jake, right? Lisa's ex? Yeah, you're the guy from the barbecue. Former guy. That situation went south fast. What happened? Found out she'd been lying about everything. Her dating history, her experience level, even her name. Her name? She told me her name was Elizabeth and that she went by Lisa as a nickname. Her real name is Lisa Marie, but she's been telling guys different versions of her name and background for years. Damn. But here's the kicker. I found her journal. Same setup you probably saw. Ratings, comparisons, detailed plans for manipulating guys. She didn't learn anything. Gets worse. I was number 13 on her list. She literally wrote that she was upgrading from you because I was more physically appealing, but that she'd probably have to downgrade again because I was too smart to control long term. So I wasn't even Lisa's rock bottom. I was just another step in her ongoing project. How'd you find out about the lying? Her sister Emma actually called me, warned me about Lisa's patterns, and told me to run. Emma had apparently decided to stop enabling Lisa's behavior entirely. What did you do? Same thing you did. Printed out her journal pages and left them where she'd find them. But I went a step further. How? Posted the relevant pages in our college alumni Facebook group. Turns out there are a lot of guys who've dealt with Lisa's rating system over the years. Ryan showed me his phone. The Facebook post had over 200 comments from guys sharing similar experiences with Lisa. The word predatory came up a lot. She's basically been running the same con for years. Target nice guys, play innocent, get them emotionally invested, then treat them like experiments while looking for upgrades. 3 weeks ago, I got a call from Marcus. Jake, you need to hear this. Lisa called me crying yesterday. About what? The Facebook thing blew up her whole social circle. She's apparently had to move back in with her parents because none of her friends want to deal with her anymore. Good. But here's the best part. She asked if I thought she could rebuild her reputation by getting back together with one of her exes and proving she'd changed. Let me guess, she wanted to get back with you? Nope. She wanted to get back with you. I laughed out loud. After everything that happened, she said you were the most forgiving of her exes and she could probably convince you she'd learned her lesson. Even at rock bottom, Lisa was still scheming. What did you tell her? That she'd burned that bridge pretty thoroughly when she rated you last place in her journal. Last week I got one final text from Lisa. Jake, I know you hate me, but I want you to know I really did love you. I just didn't know how to show it properly. I'm sorry for everything. I didn't respond, but I did save the screenshot because it perfectly captured who Lisa really was. Still manipulating, still playing victim, still trying to control the narrative. Sarah from our friend group texted me yesterday. Thought you'd want to know. Lisa tried to join our book club. We voted no. Nobody wants to deal with her drama anymore. Turns out when you treat people like experiments for years, word gets around. Me, I'm doing great. Started dating someone new 2 weeks ago. Jessica's 27, works as a teacher, actually communicates like a normal person. No journals, no ratings, no elaborate manipulation schemes. The difference is incredible. Jessica treats our relationship like a partnership, not a research project. When we have conversations, she's present instead of analyzing. When we're intimate, she's focused on us instead of comparing me to a mental scorecard. Most importantly, Jessica told me about her dating history honestly from the start. 3 previous relationships, why they ended, what she learned from each one. No lies, no manipulation, no fake personas. I learned something valuable from the Lisa experience. When someone shows you who they are through their actions, believe them. Lisa showed me she was someone who lied about fundamental things and treated relationships like experiments. The journal wasn't the problem. It was just the evidence. The rating system was never about my performance. It was about Lisa's need to control and categorize everyone in her life. She couldn't just experience love. She had to study it, measure it, manipulate it. That's not partnership. That's pathology. For any guy reading this who discovers his girlfriend has been keeping score, it's not about you not being good enough. It's about her treating human connection like data collection instead of experiencing it authentically. Lisa didn't settle for me because I was safe. She targeted me because she thought I was controllable. The difference matters. I'm grateful Emma had too much wine that day. Saved me from wasting years with someone who saw me as a project instead of a person. Best last place finish of my life.